Previously, an adventure awaits. They finally arrived at the Way Inn after many days of travel away from Daggerford. Upon meeting the very interesting tavern owner, Daruvian Redbeard, and his servers, you sat down and had a nice meal for the first time in a few days. Checked out the local help wanted board and found a few quests that seemed to be up your alley, including a trip to Fandolin, escorting some much-needed goods towards up there, along with a seemingly fairly easy quest of retrieving a lost prize arrow from archery. Two of you heading out to the forests to retrieve this arrow unfortunately had a hurtful encounter with some owl bears, it seemed, or possibly bear traps, but it's unknown which. Upon coming within an inch of your lives, you headed back with Inengad, who was the archer that you had met, and made your way back to the Way Inn. We pick up there about 2 p.m. The day is yours.
Jin, if you want, we could work on some chemicals.
Yes, if we have time, definitely start brewing. Let's do that.
Orsik will try to look for some camping supplies and a small little bird cage for the phoenix, so it won't be in his pocket forever.
Orsik should also take a nap.
Yeah, let me
Because
say,
you look like shit.
don't you want to take a nap? You know, owlbears and all.
Nah, Orsik is playing it off as if it's not that big of a deal, right? You know, he's a tough little guy.
I would like to take a nap, and then I think we should return this arrow that I still have in my possession. Can I take it out of my hair and look at it? Does it have any markings or engravings or anything on it, anything important?
Make an investigation check.
I would love to. I'm so good at that. I'm gonna roll all of an 8.
Gold tipped, gold fletching on the arrow. It's beautiful. It is a wood base, but it's kind of a really nice darker mahogany base. There are some visible engravings. It does say archery champion, and that's all it says.
Does it feel like it's meant to be shot?
So with that investigation check, it's hard to say. It does have a cutout fletching. You're doing like kids do with model planes. You're just kind of waving the arrow around. It catches the air. You kind of tap the tip and it's sharp. So reasonably, sure, it could be shot out of a bow.
Oh, cool. That seems reasonable. I'm gonna put it back in my hair.
Why not return that first, then get a nap?
Because I'm tired. Fighting owl bears is a pain.
Why don't I hand it off to Jin and have him take it back?
Because I also need to talk to that lady about taking on Artie as a ward.
Right, you were mentioning something about it. I think that's a wonderful idea. Apprenticeship is good for a young child.
Right, he's really excited about learning, and I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't know anything about alchemy. She's an alchemist, right? My notes just have little hearts drawn on them. I wasn't actually...
Yeah, his mom is an alchemist. His mother is an alchemist.
Cool.
The boy who we helping out.
Since we're in the area, we should investigate the Goblin Camp. It is something relevant to what we encountered before. It might lead us to something. I was thinking tomorrow, but for today, just run the errands. But we still have to go confirm the contract today.
Yes, so no one else takes the job.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, we'll all meet.
Take the quest for y'all?
Well,
I can go with you, Siegfried.
Yeah, why don't you two go confirm the quest, and then we can all meet back here.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, since Juliet's sleeping and me, her, and Kai share a room, would you mind, Mr. Jin, if I borrow you or Mr. Orsik's room, and we could work on the project in there? Hopefully there's a good desk space.
Yes, I think that would do. We'd let her have her rest.
As the party begins to split up, Sig and Kai, you are meeting Amelia in room 128.
I kindly knock on the door with the contract in my hand.
There's kind of a pause as you knock on the door, and you're about to reach up and knock again as the door just ever so slightly opens, and you see a younger female human's face just kind of peeking out and just looks at you.
Howdy.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we're here to take the job.
Oh, I see. Okay. And she actually kind of slides outside and closes the door. She steps out into the hallway with you guys. She has a blonde mohawk. It's very kind of rough, clearly worked white skin, a very lean build. It's clear she's been on the road a lot and works quite a bit. And as she steps outside, sorry, my grandmother is asleep right now. I don't wish to wake her.
Sorry, let's
No,
just
you're
back here. How?
So, the goblins, right? We travel up here to the way in from the south about a few times a year to trade my grandmother's goods. I hadn't seen the goblins last trip, and they were there as we passed this time, a little ways off the road, and, well, being so close to the high moor, I just want to make sure we don't get robbed next time we go through.
Were they using anything unusual?
I couldn't see too much. They had quite the encampment built up a ways off the road, so I don't know if what they had or what they were up to.
Did they look hostile? Or they were just watching you?
All monsters look hostile to me.
I just squint. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I meant no offense. You're clearly an adventurer, and up to good. But goblins camped on the side of the road in big numbers are more likely to be up to no good.
Do you know where around the area did you spot them?
Down south, it was about a day's walk for us, but my grandmother moved a bit slower. You could probably get there in about half or 3/4 of a day.
Guy, do you have anything you want to add?
Did you see a dog with the goblins? Like an ugly one?
I just sigh.
I didn't. Was I supposed to? Do goblins travel with dogs?
I believe so. I think it's like a common thing.
Oh,
You know, pets.
I see. Hopefully they don't eat them.
The dogs aren't that bad. Have
She
you...
kind of gives you a look and like takes half a step back.
That's
Oh.
a conversation for later.
No.
Like, there may be good monstrous creatures out there. As she kind of motions without looking towards Sig.
Ooh.
But
I'm right here.
Raised an eyebrow in front of her.
If you
but
want to address me,
I-
look at me, okay?
she still just looks at Kai. I just with them in so many numbers and so close to Highmoor, I just want to make sure we won't get robbed again.
How many did you think were there?
Best guess, maybe 30 to 40. And, you know, my grandmother, one of the finest crafters in the Sword Coast, with many awards to her name. Crafts different furniture, trinkets, even weapons occasionally, though she's not really a blacksmith or a forge. Just mainly wood carvings and stuff like that.
What's the prize?
Well, unfortunately, we haven't gotten paid yet for this trip. Our contact seems to be late. But I could probably spare 300 gold to make sure they won't be a problem.
Who's your contact?
Our contact is Aratar Ice Tank. He's a dwarf from up north. Usually hangs around Waterdeep to Neverwinter, but he travels down to the Way In about once a year.
Is he normally this late?
He has a long way to travel, so he has been late before.
So this is common. He didn't disappear?
Not that I know of, no. He's only a day late so far, so if it gets to a week, I'd be worried. But
So 300 gold.
yes, I don't have that money on me, but I can promise you that once the goods get sold, I can give you that payment.
Kai's gonna bend over a little bit, move her hair between her ears. How about when you get the money, 300 gold, but with extra, maybe your grandmother could make a trinket or something for one of our members.
Does your grandma work with leather?
Occasionally, yes. What are you...
I'm
Wanting-
a tanner as well.
She kind of looks over at Kai. What are you wanting to be made?
My friend's talking to you, ma'am.
A tanner,
Sad.
yes. She, would you like trinkets or lessons, or I'm not quite sure what you're asking for here.
300 gold and free lesson.
Sure, yeah. How long are you going to be around the inn?
A few days, probably. We're gonna deal with the goblin problem first.
Yeah. She kind of like looks down and thinks for a second. We'll have to schedule it in between her longer and longer naps nowadays, but yeah, I'm sure she could show you the ropes for a day.
I'll appreciate it. Thank you for your time, miss.
Of course.
I will reach out my hand for her to shake. Name's Siegfried.
Yes, Amelia Redstream. It's nice to make your acquaintance.
Nice to make yours.
And she quietly just opens the door and slips back in and closes it, and you hear chunk, chunk, as two deadbolt locks are closed on the inside of the door.
I get the feeling she doesn't trust me. Do you actually eat dogs?
No. Well, we call them dogs, but they weren't really dogs.
You are not helping your case, ma'am.
You need to be in the forest more.
I've been in the forest plenty.
I think we've probably been to different forests.
So, you really don't know anything about Yuan-Ti, do you?
No. DM, do I?
Roll history check. Probably not, actually. You've definitely never heard the proper name of Yuan-Ti before. Where you grew up, it may have very vaguely been said in passing about snake people, but that would be all you really know.
Yuan-Ti are kind of known to be cannibals, slavers, people in the background. They poison society, especially the higher-ups. But I don't understand it. Maybe I was just raised right. Apparently, we're not even supposed to have emotions. Like, we're supposed to be pragmatic to an absolute. Although sometimes when my emotions do start taking control of me, they kind of explode. More violent, more weepy, more happy. That's why I just try to stay in the middle as much as I can.
I've heard if you keep your emotions in a lot, you explode more. That might be it. Like, it's just like throughout small bursts, it kind of just go bah.
What else? Oh yeah, Yuan-Ti also like become a more and more snake-like. Now I'm what's considered a pureblood, which despite the name me, I'm still the bottom society because I have like the minimum snake bits. And the more snake you become, the higher society you become. Like it goes from pureblood to malison to abomination.
Well, I'm guessing you haven't met other snake people.
Not really.
Well, if you weren't fighting, was there something you want to do?
I mean, I would honestly just want to ride the family horse, tend to the fields, do my tanning work, things that don't involve fighting people.
To confirm, then it was Jen and Mercedes making potions, Juliet was taking a short rest, and Orsik was going shopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll check in on Jen and Mercedes real quick in Jen's room. You guys are working on 2 different potions right now, the lice shampoo and the poison to add to weapons, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say, since Mercedes rolled with advantage, that you guys kind of get one started, leave it to brew a little bit, and start working on the other one, and you're both helping out each other with these. Go ahead and one of you roll a nature or medicine on the poison itself that you harvested from the spiders. Either one of you with advantage or both separately. And this is kind of the first time you've uncapped them since you got them the day before. Not quite as thick as, say, something like honey, but still quite slow moving and thick liquid, and it is very strong. Grab kind of just a small stick that you have lying around, and just ever so slightly dip this stick into the vial, and it just starts eating the stick away. And before you know it, just the stick is gone. Just consumed by just a tiny little bit of this poison. So you both theorized not only would you need to add something to make it stay on the weapon, but you would probably need to use very little of what you actually have in these 4 vials to be able to coat the tip of a weapon with. With both of you working with this substance, go ahead and both make dexterity checks for me. Ooh.
Oh no, Jen.
Oh god.
As you both begin to start working with them within the alchemy kits and adding some water so it moves a bit better, getting it more towards an oily-like substance, Jen, unfortunately, you were kind of focused on what Mercedes was doing at a time and making sure she was being careful, and you kind of just let the vial in your hand tip a little bit too much as a big glop of this goop just right onto your leg. That's going to be 13 poison damage as it begins to sear through your leg.
Oh, wow.
Number 1 rule of alchemy, you always wear your apron. Are you okay? It looks like it's stinging. The skin is blistering. Oh my gosh.
I will say that the moment this drops on your skin, you're able to get up and kind of brush it off with some different materials as it onto the floor off your skin, and you see it actually begins kind of burning and eroding the wood floor beneath your feet.
Take out my water skin and I start pouring it on the wound. Wash off whatever.
Even after you've pushed a lot of this material off, the moment you pour this water on, you begin to hear it go tss, as this water almost kind of boils away with whatever heat the substance is creating within your skin. But the water helps wash away a little bit more and kind of cool off the burning sensation that's happening around you.
I think I have a little bit of daffodil left in my bag, so I'll go ahead and whip that up. And then would that help him in any way, given my proficiency as an alchemist?
It wouldn't provide any direct healing benefits, but it probably will help the body heal the wound a little bit faster, maybe.
Damn, I start limping away from the table.
Might want to lay down. We definitely got to get you an apron if you're going to start working on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm still new working on this stuff. I'll learn.
Don't worry, I have a lot of, crafting scars of my own from messing with chemicals that I wasn't quite prepared to use just yet.
And that spill did cost you half a vial of the poison you had, as it came out in kind of one huge glob. So you now have 3.5 vials left.
But we were able to successfully create the poison that he wanted to apply to weapons, correct?
Yes. How much of the poison are you wanting to use that you have?
Probably would have used half of it.
But basically, it's still very concentrated, so it's almost pretty much something you'll brush on, and it will stay on the weapon for about 3 to 4 hours after applying and be useful.
But you could get like a 1d4 of poison damage with that per
yes, it will
application.
Add about 1d4 poison. Yep.
And Kai shampoo is a light floral scent. I wanted to talk. Well, I would like to train with you and get a little stronger. Because I don't know, I've never had to really do any physical activities before, and cardio is not my skill set.
You are welcome to join me when I train.
Okay, I'd like that. Apologize if I'm not the best student, though.
I point my leg towards you. We all have to learn.
We shouldn't have to have such a painful first lesson, though. The worst I got was a very mild, burn on, my thumb. You, burned a hole in your leg. Not as terrible as the time I nearly split my hand open when I was working on a cadaver for the first time. It was nasty.
DM, does this place have individual baths, or is it one bathhouse?
It does have kind of a few individual rooms and then one communal room. 'Tis up to you, but the individual ones do get booked out. Free of charge and included with your room price. You just have to get there to reserve.
Get them first. We know a good bath doesn't hurt anybody.
Look forward to having one as soon as we're done with our stuff. For now, I'm gonna rest this leg. Make sure you're ready to walk whenever we're going.
I have attended, the little pouch with the daffodil tea. If you just stick that in some hot water and drink it, I think you'll be okay.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
With that, we move on to Orsk.
I would like to think by now he's already bought a little bit of gear while looking for birdcage. Probably bought a tent, sleeping bag, set of 20 arrows.
As another building kind of separate from the way in itself, but within the same compound. West Embassy's Guild. You'd be able to get the tent, sleeping bag, 20 arrows, easily enough.
Yeah.
So 2 gold for a tent, a gold for a sleeping bag. But as for a small birdcage, the owner of West Embassy's Guild will send you over to the nearby blacksmith, as they don't just carry bird cages around. And that is going to be Groga's Weapons. And you enter, it's a very kind of small and modest blacksmith shop, kind of simple stone brick building, wood porch with some furniture sitting outside. The inside's pretty small, big enough for a forge, which you can see from the outside is currently running. An anvil, kind of one wall for storage racks, but the single room doesn't really fit many people. And you hear, even before you enter, the ding, ding of something currently being hammered out in the forge.
Okay. Is there already stuff on display that is ready to be purchased?
Not outside, no. And on the inside, as you enter, there doesn't appear to be anything more. It seems to be kind of in progress stuff that's hanging up.
Okay. In that case, Orsk will try to grab the blacksmith's attention.
A bulky, muscular female half-orc, covered in soot, constantly. It appears, she's been working at this forge for quite a while.
Right.
And she notices you enter and kind of does a double take, and she's like, "Yeah, what can I do for you?"
Yes. How soon could it be done if you were to make a he gives measurements by moving his hands around, make it a bird cage about yay big, somewhat portable.
She's hitting in all the right spots as she's looking over her shoulder at you,
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't miss a beat as she looks at the gestures you're making for the size, and she finishes up a little bit. She sticks the tool she's working on back in the forge to give it another heat. She kind of grabs a rag and wipes her hands off. Well, for a bird cage, I could probably get something like that done in the next day and a half or so. Get it to you the day after next. Are you wanting anything inside the bird cage?
Just small enough so that it could hook onto a backpack, so it could be carried around like that. Perhaps a small metal rod for the said bird to perch. Nothing too fancy, just the cheapest metal available. If it does get dinged up and whatnot, I could probably tend to it myself. How much would something like that cost?
Maybe a little bit of blacksmith in you? You're a little bit trained in the arts also?
Yes, I worked with my father for a little bit while he was still able to do blacksmithing. Yes.
Oh, nice. I don't get too many of those around here, these traveling types.
Well, by trade, I'm not a blacksmith. I just know a few bits here and there, but yes.
Well, hey, if you know some bits, call yourself a blacksmith. Don't sell yourself short at all. She pulls out a kind of notebook and brushes some soot off of it that's been a while and pulls out a small pencil. Let's see. Copper bird cage with about these dimensions. A small perch for the animal to sit on. With, yeah. I could probably do that for, say, 3 gold made out of copper.
All right. He digs into his coin purse and he hands her 3 gold exactly.
Huh. Thank you very much, and I'll tell you what. And she fishes 5 silver out of her pocket, hands it back to you. Small discount for being a man of the trade yourself.
Oh, well, thank you. Orsk pockets it, right? Say, by the way, you wouldn't happen to know any place where I can soak my wounds? You see, I ran into an accident earlier today.
Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Looking for just a general place to soak it, you could probably go in the bathhouse and rent out one of the private rooms, as you may not want to get the water all bloody or anything like that of the general communal bath. Unfortunately, though, anything else, I don't really know of a place unless you want to try the apothecary shop that's kind of on the outskirts out there, over near the wall. They may have a little bit of something to help you out.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you.
Of course, and I will see you day after next to pick up this bird cage. Should be ready for pickup still pretty early in the morning. As she goes and pulls out the tool she was working on that's glowing red hot, and grabs it without a second mind, even without a glove, and just starts working away at it again.
Oh, that's badass. Alright, I think Orsk will probably go to the public baths, right?
You can head over there. You provide and show your room key as proof that you have rented out a room, and you are allowed in within hour increments. It's a very large kind of public bath that around the edge alone could probably fit 20 to 30 people. There's only a few in there right now. It's kind of mid-afternoon, not really a time that most take baths.
Right.
And she says, if you want to wait a couple minutes, we'll be switching out the water for you.
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Wonderful. As this kind of larger build, but short in terms of height, dwarf just kind of waddles her way in and closes the door behind her. Within the next hour, you take a nice bath. It's not bad. Soap's provided.
Time for me to roll my hit dice to gain back some HP.
And with that, the split hour of the party comes to a close as those that were working on things have finished up. Juliet, you wake up feeling a little bit more refreshed. Your legs are sore now, not at the painful stage they were at. Walk around a little bit, so you're kind of back to walking normally.
Roll some hit dice. Where's Arthrid?
Arthrid. Would you stop renaming my NPCs, please? You did it with Enigma. In his bedroom that you guys bought for him.
Cool.
Make sure you knock. Don't go in his room unannounced.
Yeah, I want to check on him. I will knock on the door.
Reminds me of that thing from Fairly Odd Parents. I respect your authority, but
I'm coming in anyway.
I'm coming in anyway.
Kind of.
All right. Do you knock and then enter, or do you knock and wait for him to answer?
I will knock and wait for an answer.
Okay.
But then if he doesn't answer, I will open the door. Just
Oh.
check on him.
All right. You knock, and it's about 10 seconds as you don't hear anything. And you're kind of about to reach for the doorknob before it opens, and there's Arthur standing there kind of rubbing his eyes. Yeah.
Did you take a nap too?
I had nothing else to do.
Good choice. Naps are always a good choice. Are you doing okay, kid?
I guess.
Just
Going to that show?
checking on you. Oh, I think we're gonna go tonight.
Come get me, I guess, whenever you're gonna go.
Definitely
I'll be
will,
here.
if you're interested in going, which it sounds like you are. So,
Yeah.
okay. Just wanted to make sure you were doing okay.
Can I go visit Enengad up in their room?
Yeah, you could come with us. We're going that way anyway. Shortly, as soon as we catch
Okay.
up with Jen.
He grabs his small backpack from a small table in the room and throws it on and closes the door and actually locks it and puts the key in his pocket. Okay.
He's learning.
It's all growing up.
Happens so fast. The NPCs grow up so fast.
They have character development.
Good character development.
But I would
Like,
say
look-
that I would have met downstairs after my hour, because Mercedes is uncomfortably punctual. She would be waiting in Jin's room and be like, okay, if I leave in like 2 minutes, I'll properly arrive in an hour. Because if I arrive too early, I'll look too desperate. And if I arrive late, I'll look like an ass. So,
I will tell Mercedes, it's time to go, I suppose.
yeah, if we leave now, we'll get there in 4 minutes.
Alright. I move my foot up and down, make sure I got some feeling, and I'll start walking down.
It is quite sore. You, Orsik, and Juliet are all walking with a slight limp.
As me and Mercedes are walking down the hall, I would tell Mercedes in a smirking voice, if they ask, just tell them if it was owlbears.
I'm gonna pause for a
no.
second. I'll pause for a second and think about it, and then realize what he's telling me. Like, oh, we're making practical jokes.
Mercedes, Jen, and Sig all walk in right at the same time from different corridors into the main tavern part. And I guess Kai was with Siegfried, so Orsik and Juliet make their way in. As Orsk's hair still drying off a little bit.
Oh my god. Jin, what happened to your leg?
I have a serious face on, and I just say, owlbears.
In the tavern?
I'm gonna smile and try to keep a straight face, but I can't. I'll be like, yeah, owlbears.
Orsk with a deadpan face says, I believe you.
City owlbears? Do they just go into every room? Is this like a city thing?
Anyway, what actually happened to your leg, Jen?
As he said, owlbears.
Uh-huh. Owlbears can do that. As I point to the clearly not owlbear damage to his leg.
That's definitely an owlbear attack, yes.
I'm gonna look at Jin and do that like really obvious wink, trying really hard, but I think I'm being pretty clever about it.
Is your eye okay, Mercedes?
Oh yes. I'll pull out of my apron because I have a bunch of pockets on the front, and I'll say, "For you, Kai, shampoo."
I'll smell it. Thanks, Mercedes. This is really lovely.
Oh yeah, we got the job for the goblins.
Oh,
About
good.
30 or 40 out there. They're not doing a whole lot, but they're all out in the open, which means they're planning something or they feel confident about something.
Well, maybe they're just like trying to live their lives. Like,
If they were trying to live their lives, they wouldn't do it in front of you, everyone.
Why not? Goblins are people too.
Indeed, I have met a goblin or two. They are very nice people.
Right, only like 3 of them tried to kill me.
So what's the pay like?
Well, the pay is supposed to be 300 gold, but they don't quite have it yet.
Oh.
The guy that's supposed to pay them isn't here.
Mercedes will make a very cross look and be like, "You didn't get the money out up front or in writing?"
No, but we got Siegfried a free lesson.
As you guys are talking, Jen and Mercedes, you notice Arthur begin to wander off towards the help wanted board.
I go,
Yeah,
hey,
follow
little
suit.
guy, what you doing?
Just looking.
Got anything interesting?
Nah.
Is there anything interesting on the board?
There is the same stuff as yesterday, though with one exception. There is a new quest that also seems to be catching Arthur's eye, even though he told you he wasn't very interested in anything. And it says in all caps, "Help find my lost pet cat." Room 127 for details.
What type of day is it?
It is about mid-afternoon. It's about 3:30 right now.
I think we can knock this out real quick.
What about the goblins?
Probably save that for
Do
tomorrow.
you really want to?
Kai, you do notice a new individual up at the bar that stands out and appears to be some sort of humanoid lizard person sitting at the bar drinking with a long kind of spiky tail that wraps around the bar stool they're sitting on.
Is it like similar lizard appearances like Siegfried? Or is it similar to the Dragonborn?
Not exactly the same of either of those. Is reptilian with scales, but more of kind of a elongated snout, lizardy face. Commoner clothes, just a small kind of tattered vest on, just old kind of button-down shirt. Has a large bag kind of sitting down next to them.
Siegfried,
Yeah.
look! And I point to the bar.
Okay.
It's another lizard person. Well, because you said like you haven't really seen other lizard people. Like, I don't think they look the
Because-
same, but they have a tail. Wait, do you have a tail?
No.
Oh.
If I had a tail, I'd be a mouse. And you don't want me to be a mouse.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
It's-
I've never heard of such things.
Okay, think of it as stages, okay? I'm mostly human, so I'm a pureblood. Malison is half
Okay.
snake. Abomination is
Okay.
almost full snake. You know, like how a caterpillar metamorphosizes to something else.
Oh.
So is it like
I-
a frog situation where you're like a tadpole and then you grow legs later?
Yeah, kinda, but it's something I could do, not something I want to do. Also, that boy's a lizard folk, and I'm a Yuan-Ti. We're not even cousin-like related. We're two different things.
And I mean, I've heard stories about a lot of things like unicorns and, potatoes.
Never-
Potatoes exist, and unicorns very much exist.
Potatoes with legs exist.
We literally eat them. Dirt apples,
Sure
you
we
know.
do.
Have you not had
are.
one?
You probably believe in the moon, too.
The moon exists. Science is real. I she kind of looks at her very confused.
You are an anomaly.
This
I feel like-
conversation took a weird turn.
I feel like you are pulling a jest on me, and you
Oh,
are just
please
being
tell me-
silly.
Please tell me you don't believe the world's flat.
Well, yeah. How else would they make maps?
She is right.
They don't make
It was a
round
triangle.
maps. They're flat maps.
Actually, I believe the Earth is a donut shape.
Oh, jeez.
It's actually on the
Wait a-
back of a giant turtle.
Anyways, Siegfried, I think what the point we are trying to make is that we don't see you as a Yuan-Ti, we see you as Siegfried.
Indeed.
You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
Well, what else would you be? Your name's Siegfried. That's who you are.
Yep.
Should we say Tasha?
Should we do something this session?
Yeah, let's go to this. Let's go to this show. We said we were going
Yes.
to.
We probably
I'm
should.
gonna take the arrow back out of my hair and be like, guys, we have to return this. Also, Arthur would like a play date with Godfrey, so we have to make sure we
As a
arrange
note,
that.
as you say his name, Arthur is no longer around you.
God damn
and
it.
you scan the room, and he is not in the main tavern room.
Maybe he went to go see Enigma.
Right, he probably went to Godfrey's place, so we should go check there first.
I thought the child's name was Inagog.
Wait, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Is the quest on the board gone?
Yes, it is.
Ah, that's probably it.
Maybe this will be a learning experience for him.
We should let him finish his own quest.
Yes, a scientific theory, as the people in the town say. Fuck around and find out.
It's not like he is defenseless. He can create fire after all.
But can he control fire? We don't want him to create arson and then we're being chased out of another town.
Create bonfire and control flames are two different spells.
Very much so.
Do you remember the room of the quest?
Make a history check.
History check.
Sig was the only one that actually looked at it, so...
Oh, no.
I was next to him.
Jeez.
Jen, you remember it was 120-something. You do not remember the last number.
Checking the first floor.
Indeed.
Two of you who are searching make individual perception checks or one with advantage.
Wait, are we splitting up so like half goes
We're
to...
not. We are all going to go look for Arthrid.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Aww.
continue holding on to this gold arrow. I'm actually gonna take it out of my hair and like slide it into my bag.
We're gonna discover that we need to actually get that arrow to the end of the game for an achievement.
Perception, I have 4.
Give her advantage.
16.
So as the 6 of you begin going down the first floor room hallways, calling out for Arthrid. Who's missing a cat? Arthrid, where are you? Kai, you're kind of keeping an ear out, seeing if you hear any responses from any directions. You guys search for about 10 minutes, calling out. Don't see any sign or get a response.
If it's 120-something, there's 10 rooms we can try.
Knock, 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 knock.
I'm kind of just going for it.
Which room are you knocking on? And you can eliminate, that Amelia is in room 128 for the Goblin quest.
126.
126, okay.
Let's see what's behind door number 1.
Bum, 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 bum.
You keep waiting.
Knock, 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 knock.
There's no response.
I think it's empty.
If only we knew somebody who could solve that problem for us.
Step back.
He was waiting for a proper introduction.
He
Alright, so
takes out his stuff.
Okay, go ahead and roll a dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus twice then.
All right, let's go.
No one's walking by, right? Like, can we like look out? Oh,
Hey.
Go ahead and make a perception check as he starts picking the lock.
With a flick of the wrist.
This is gonna end well.
Why did we agree to this?
Okay. So Mercedes and Kai, you see Oris start leaning down and immediately get in there with the lock as you two look around. Mercedes, you see approaching from the opposite end of where the tavern is, possibly a husband-wife human pair walking down and kind of start to give notice of this large group of 6 people out front of door with one person crouching down, clearly picking the lock in front of it. And they're about probably 30 feet down the hall from you, but they kind of start to take notice and start whispering between each other as they start to get closer.
Oh no, I can't believe you lost the key. The management is going to be so coarse with us.
What are you talking about? And then that's when Orsk sees him. He's like, oh,
No.
yes, clumsy me.
Roll a deception check for me, please. I
I'm
will
gonna
say
keep my
with
back towards him.
advantage. I will give advantage
fuck.
because you guys are trying to help out.
Please, what's your modifier?
Oh no!
Okay.
Well, we're not gonna be doing the main
Okay.
mission tonight.
oh, jeez.
They're like carrying their bags and stuff with them. It seems like they're leaving or going to a different room or something. They kind of both stop as you call out, and they both look to Oris, like still picking the lock and getting more clicks out of it. And they whisper between each other, and they turn around and start briskly heading the other direction.
First day jitters on the job of being a part of maintenance crew, am I right?
I don't
They
think
start
I buy it
walking
anymore.
faster. And they disappear around a corner, and you hear an outside door that's on that side of the building go phoom, phoom, as it closes.
Why did we decide to pick the lock?
Our I'm a
And
terrible liar.
Soon after you hear the outer door close,
what-
Okay, I open up the door and I wave you all to go inside. Go, go, go.
Oh,
Pushing everyone inside the room.
Yeah.
It's empty, isn't it?
I'm gonna keep watch on the hallway.
Do we see what room they went into?
that you know from walking around the halls, they are outside the building now. They went outside a side door. So, Jin, you're keeping watch outside. The rest of you going inside?
I'm staying outside the door too.
Okay.
So why did we break into this room?
Jin and Sig, either both of you make perception checks or one of you with advantage. As we get inside the main room, I need everyone heading inside to make a perception check for me.
I'll give it to
I-
you. I'll advantage to Jin.
I'm not
Thank
gonna
you.
step in, but I'll stay at the threshold. But I'll give it a little glance over.
As you guys enter, it is a kind of one of the a larger one-bedroom layout. It seems to maybe be one of the suites that's on this floor. So it is two-room. The bedroom is separate instead of everything being all one room. Shades are closed to the outside wall, so it is dark as you guys enter, and your eyes kind of adjust from the hallway light coming in. Those of you with dark vision, your eyes still adjust a little bit, but you can see the grays and stuff of the room. With a small, water basin, some cabinets, a small counter, and a nice bench. There's stuff on the room. This room is occupied. Mercedes and Kai, you guys hear it first. You can't quite identify what, but you do hear stuff going on in the bedroom.
Occupado, we should leave.
Wait, why? What's going on?
There's noises. I think people are in that room. We should we should close it back up.
You hear a muffled, "Is there someone out there?"
Housekeeping.
No.
You hear two separate gasps of shock as you reply back. It almost sounds like someone falls on the floor as you hear two separate individuals scrambling in the bedroom.
Oh
Oh,
Um,
I don't say anything. I just gesture like we need to go.
Orsik
Like,
starts
I'm
backing up.
curious now.
um,
Like, why are they scrambling?
It is none of our business as far as I'm concerned.
Juliet's in the room. Who are we kidding?
I will attempt to grapple her and get her out of the room.
Okay, Juliet, do you resist?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Okay, opposing
no.
athletics checks for me, please.
Okay.
Or
I'm
this.
not gonna make that.
21.
I'm not gonna make
Yeah.
that.
Nope,
That's
I
okay.
just pulled
all
her out
right,
of the
as Siegfried just grabs in, gets his arm like right around your shoulders and chest and just yanks you out. You guys hear the bedroom door to this room open. You see kind of a middle-aged dwarven woman with a towel wrapped around her waist and chest area, but otherwise no clothes on, opens the door and just starts screaming at you guys. "What are you doing in my room? Get out of my room! Who are you people?"
Didn't
As
realize
soon as
what
they're
it-
out, I close the door.
before the lady comes out, can I whisper to Zora hey, can you make an invisible wall? Just a random wall right here so they don't see us?
no.
Oh, that's smart.
Roll an animal handling check for me.
Oh snap! I'm gonna fucking
Flush
give you
plays.
guidance. Oh shit!
Beautiful.
17.
Woo! Nice job.
Just suddenly behind you as you're pulling Juliet out, and Jen is closing the door, you three look to your side, and there is a wood wall that looks just like the rest of the tavern walls across the hallway, and your friends are gone. So you have a couple seconds. What would you like to do as you see this wall appear?
Get behind it.
Oh,
Go.
absolutely.
Out of there! Out of there!
From
doing like
everyone
this
on
now.
the other side of the wall, all 6 of you now, please all roll stealth checks for me.
25.
Hey,
25.
Hell yeah.
Two
16.
17s. Oh, 22. Nice.
Fortunately, Mercedes, even with that 7 in total after your guidance, your adrenaline is going now, and you can't help but to let out just a few noises of being scared, don't know what's going on, and you guys hear from the other side of this illusionary wall that has appeared, the door open, and you hear 2 distinct sets of footsteps, and you guys see a hand come through the spectral wall. You see a very old human male, also with only a towel around his waist, walk through and just start screaming. He turns and runs down the hallway.
I
Hold
trip
on.
him.
Please, I apologize. I didn't mean to disturb you. We thought the room was empty, and we're just trying to damage control. Just look into my eyes, and everything will be better. I will cast Suggestion on the man.
Oh fuck!
Okay, that is a
He's
natural 16. Kai, you try to reach out your arms and like dive for his legs to trip him below, but unfortunately, the sheer terror in this man has both stopped the suggestion from working, and you're tripping him as he bolts down the hallway towards the main tavern area.
I think it's time to leave.
In a towel?
In nothing but a towel, yes.
I'm gonna cast blindness and deafness on his
Oh no! We're making this worse. Stop, please. We're already in deep enough. Why am I still with you all? I'm leaving.
I'm gonna turn as I cast. I'm gonna tell everybody, run. He needs to
One
make a
step at a
con
time.
save. My DC is a 13.
That is a natural 1. As this old man lets out this scream, and you hear a boom, and boom,
It is time for us to go.
and the
now.
scream
We're
stops.
We're making this worse, but it's time to go now.
I start booking it the other direction.
Go.
We
At
gotta
this
take
point,
stairs, go to our rooms.
as you guys turn to run down the hallway, the Zora's illusion fades. As now you are fully visible all the way down this hallway to the main tavern room, and there are heads turning around the corner, looking at what the fuck is going on. You do notice as the wall faded, the old dwarven lady is still standing there in her like long towel in the doorway, confused as to what's going on. The man that you cast blindness and deafness on seems to have run into the wall and is currently on the ground unconscious. You're running down the hallway and you get around the corner. You, just for reference, the couple that saw you when you were picking the door. You've run down that hallway. So your options are outside or further into the rooms area.
I'm gonna go up in the rafters.
What?
I'm booking out the building and I'm going into the wood. I am in full panic mode.
Don't
I
go
am,
in the woods. There are owl bears out there.
I am not thinking rationally right now.
So top down, I'll say Orsk, you're heading into the rafters.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and hide, and I'm gonna try to meet up with everyone again once things have settled down.
Okay, go ahead and make a general acrobatics check for me to up the walls and hide in the rafters that are above you.
This was supposed to just be Aaron's.
Hey.
All right. Natural 20 for 25. Some of you are turning to head further into the building. Some of you turning to go outside. You see Orsk make a split-second decision and straight up into the rafters, hiding between some beams. So go ahead and now roll your stealth check, Orsk.
Can I get it with advantage because, of my prestige hiding spot?
Sure. Because this is a shit show already. Disappears into the shadows. There is no longer a trace of Orsk in this hallway.
I am gone!
Next up, Siegfried. You're heading out to the woods?
I am just booking it.
The rest of you turn to see Sig smash open the door. As a reminder, outside, you are within a walled compound out here. So you book it towards the bridge that you guys came in on, towards the trade way. Are you trying to hide yourself at all while running?
I will try hiding as much as I can.
Give a stealth check with disadvantage. Fight or flight is happening, and you're running in the middle of the open, straight down the road out towards the bridge.
I need to find safety now. This can't happen again like this.
All right, and Mercedes.
I'm gonna yell for Kai, and I'm gonna use wild shape. I'm gonna shift into a cat, and it's gonna take on the coloration that's similar to her hair, but it doesn't have a cute little hat. But it's gonna be a little white and black, like almost like a salt and pepper ombre little cat, and then jump onto Kai's shoulder.
Okay, go ahead and roll a general wisdom check for me. Immediately it clicks in your head what needs to happen. You hop onto Kai's shoulders, wrap around her neck, and cuddle in. Juliet.
So the end of this hall is a corner, and there's a door.
That is your only way to go, is right. On your left, soon after that corner, is an outer door, or down this hallway is also more branching off hallways of other rooms.
Cool. I'm gonna go down the hall and turn off down a different hallway.
2 different options of right turns of other hallways you want to go down. Which one do you want to go?
Option number, the closest one.
Okay, option number 1, you immediately right and almost immediately make another right as you're running down. Make a perception check for me. things are crazy. You don't immediately see any people in the main part of this hallway.
Right, as soon as I turn that corner, I'm going to stop running and just like casually walk with purpose as though I belong in this hallway and this is where I am going. I'm gonna like.
Okay.
Right,
Juliet's so fucking smart.
This is
Make a
like,
performance
I'm
check for
supposed
me.
to be here. That's a thing I can do with a 5.
Oh
my
God.
You start doing the very like, I'm totally not up to no good, very fast walk down the hallway. And you're like, yes, I'm supposed to be here. I'm going to my room.
Right, walk like you were sent to kill Captain America. Got it.
We now go to Jen.
What floor is the bathhouse?
The bathhouse is on the first floor, though it is back the way that you guys initially started running. It is back towards the main inn part and is one of the first turnoffs outside the inn.
There has to be a door that leads to stairs. Do I look for any sign that says stairs?
You know from walking around earlier that at the end of this first turn that you guys made, probably about 40, 50 feet away from you, is a staircase up to the second floor.
All right, I'm gonna take that.
Okay, so you pass the other 2 first floor hallways as you begin heading up these stairs.
As soon as I hit the stairs, I'm just gonna nonchalantly head to my room.
Just make a general performance check too, as tensions are still running high here.
Oh, fuck.
You don't immediately see anyone as you head upstairs and you exit onto the second floor, and you're doing the same thing as Juliet at this point. You're like, fast walk, gotta get to the room, get out of sight, we'll think about things then. Kai, you have a cat on your shoulders now.
I'll just do the same where I'll just head over to upstairs to our room, pet my cat, right, and try my best to be an old lady.
Nice. I'm glad you were picking up what I was putting down.
So you follow Jen. As Jen splits off for the second floor, you continue up. Go ahead and also make me a general performance check.
Yes, Kai.
Hell yeah, look at that.
Heavy footfalls begin to round the corner, and you see fully armored local guards walking through now, what appears to be a unit of about 4 or 5 of them. 2 of them go outside as the door is still closing at this time from where Sig bolted out the door. 2 of them continue down the hallway towards the stairs, and 1 begins to round the corner that Juliet went down.
Orsik is going to army crawl back up to his room through the rafters, right?
Okay.
I was picturing Die Hard style, like through the air vents.
I was totally thinking the same thing.
Juliet, you hear the footfalls of a singular guardsman begin coming down the hallway behind you. Where exactly are you trying to go?
Yeah, so then where are the stairs to get back upstairs?
There was the one if you had continued down the hallway you were going down, or you can continue down this hallway and take a left at the end of the major one, and at the end of that one there will be another staircase up too.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna head in that direction
Okay.
with purpose.
God, I feel
Okay.
bad for Siegfried.
You do hear them running as they approach you, and you feel this hand come onto your shoulder. Excuse me, ma'am. Did you see any individuals running through these hallways just now?
No, I heard some yelling.
Yes.
So I was heading up front to see what was going on.
Please go to your room. Report any odd things that you see. And he continues running down the hallway the way you were heading. He rolled a 2 to rival your performance check.
Beautiful.
Wow.
He did not see through your act. And you head down the hall and you head up to your room?
Yes, that's where I'm headed.
Okay.
While we're doing this, has anybody seen Arthrid?
None of you have seen Arthrid. I will say that Mercedes, Kai, and Jen all make it to your rooms before anyone catches up. Siegfried, as you are now running away from the way in at full speed, your mind clouded by feelings of terror and flashbacks from the past, you begin to hear many heavy footfalls and shouts from behind you.
If I hear that, I am going even faster.
They are keeping pace with you, but not gaining. As you get closer and closer to the main gate and drawbridge, you hear shouts from behind you in a language you do not understand. As you see guards atop the gate acknowledge the shouts and begin turning pulleys as the bridge that you walked across to get here begins to turn.
And I'm gonna jump it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm moving it.
The drawbridge is almost completely turned at this point. Go ahead and make a athletics check for me
Oh my
Alright.
as
god.
you
Oh,
attempt
no.
to make a jump across.
Hey!
Matrix jump.
Okay. What is your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is 5.
You jump and begin flying through the air as time almost pauses, and you look down and see below what you guys couldn't before. It is a over 60-foot fall to spikes. You grab one hand onto the bridge and catch yourself before falling. And you pull yourself up, and you are now standing on this bridge that is perpendicular to the path.
I just collapse and ball up.
Okay. As you collapse down on the bridge, you see these guards that were following you at full pace, sprinting with you, all begin to slide to a stop as the front one puts his arms out to make sure people don't fall into the pit. And more shouts begin to happen as you begin to hear the bridge begins to turn once again. The bridge locks into place, connecting the path, as the group of guards begin coming across this bridge now, once again at full pace. And they begin to grab you and shackle you.
There is no resistance at all. It's just grabbing a ragdoll at this point.
And damn it, now
Oh,
we break
no.
Siegfried out of
we gotta break him out of
jail.
His
This
eyes
is
are
breaking
completely,
my heart.
his eyes have, there's no focus to his eyes at all. He is in a completely separate world right now.
Oh
Siegfried!
And they begin carrying you back towards the way in. We're going to take our delayed break right there
no! We're gonna bust
the
the boy out
feels.
of prison.
and take a few minutes to walk around, to breathe. Of all rooms, you pick room 126.
They were probably having an affair. I bet that was a government official having an affair with some dwarven woman. Oh, fuck.
They're getting their freak on.
They were. And we
They were
stumbled
getting
upon
their freak on. Orsk, Mercedes, Juliet, Jin, and Kai all make your way back to your separate rooms that you had rented out. So at this time, none of you know the status of Sig, or Arthrid for that matter. So as you all talk amongst yourselves in your room, Siegfried, you are dragged, double shackled, back to a guard post that is within the walled compound of the Way Inn, separate from the main building. You can tell this building seems to be fortified separately. Thick stone walls, a large tower up the center with guards all around. You do see pretty much the full force of the Way Inn guard at this point. At least 50 members strong, fully armored, weapons and shields drawn, standing around the perimeter, as shouts, drums, and horn calls are going throughout, signaling what has happened. You are dragged into this compound with a personal escort of sorts of 10 guards, 2 of which have their arms around you and under your arms in a firm lock. Like, even for you in your strengthy, bulky form, you feel the strength of these individuals locking onto you. You are thrown, still shackled, arms behind you, legs shackled together, into a small stone windowless cell within this guard compound. As 4 guards take up post with their backs to you, about 2 feet out to your cell, as you hear your cell door close and lock, and you hear the outer door leading into the compound close too. You can feel your heartbeat pulsing throughout your body and through your head as visions and feelings flash through your mind as you sit curled up, crying in this cell, tears streaming down your face, pure emotion running through you. As we go back to everyone else, we'll start with Mercedes, Kai, and Juliet up on the 3rd floor in their room. What are you 3 doing?
Orsik and Jin's room. Are they also on the same floor of us?
It is not. You guys have a 3-bedroom. They have a 2, so it's 1 floor below you.
Do we know Siegfried's room number?
Yeah, you guys know each other's room numbers. You scouted it all out when you originally got.
At this point, I would have dropped my wild shape and I've been like, "Do you think it's safe for us to go out and try to reconvene with the boys?"
You went housekeeping.
I'm sorry, I panicked. I'm really sorry.
I think, 1, we need to figure out where all the boys are.
Yes.
I have no clue where Orsik went. He kind of just disappeared.
That was crazy, right? I had no idea he had such skills like that.
I think we saw Siegfried running out of the inn.
Well, then we should go find him.
Guys, if he went to the woods, the owlbears are gonna get him.
Okay, are we gonna ever talk about the fact that 100% it was not an owlbear? What happened to you? Like, I know what happened to you.
An owlbear.
It was not. It was a bear trap.
It was an owlbear.
I saw your wounds. If we're gonna lie to other people, we shouldn't lie to each other.
I mean, am I lying? Or am I telling an alternative truth?
No, you are straight up lying. I saw your wounds. I know it was an owlbear. It was not an owlbear.
Is that the woods are dangerous, and if Siegfried ran to the woods, we should go out to the woods and try to find him. But first, we should make sure that Jen and Orsik are okay too.
I definitely believe we should regroup. Mercy, can you do like an animal thing again to Jin's room, because we saw him walk into the 2nd floor. So I'm assuming he's in his room.
I know where his room is, because that's where we were making our chemicals and stuff. I can do that animal thing one more time. You should write a note and allow me to take it with me, because I don't think they can speak to animals like Kai can.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Is we will literally just write our room number, except I'm gonna do it in Dwarvish, because I know that Orsik can speak Dwarvish, because otherwise they'll just be getting like numbers starting with 300. Like, they're gonna assume it's a room number, and maybe they'll be like, oh, like if they find her, they'll be like, oh, this cat goes to this room, I should take this cat back to that room. And worst case, we get the cat back. Best case, we also get Orsik and Jin.
Probably not Dwarvish, because we don't know where Orsik went, but we know for sure Jin's in his room. So and we don't know if he speaks Dwarvish. I said we do Draconic, because I think he speaks Draconic, right?
Well, we don't know that, so I think we should make the assumption and we'll just have fun with it and let the results play themselves out.
Maybe I'll just do it in both. I'll just put it in both, just in case.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. It's just the same 3 numbers, but first it's gonna be in Draconic, and then it's gonna be in Dwarvish.
Okay, and then
I'm also gonna write it in Goblin for good measure.
Oh, nice.
Just for like funsies.
And draw 2 lines to show that there's 2 people in the room.
I'm gonna pull out some thread from my pack, and you guys can tie that to my neck when I turn into my cat shape.
So we open the door, and little kitty Mercedes.
Yep, I'm gonna slink on out.
As you open the door, all 3 of you here, though you can't see it in your hallway, the sounds of guards somewhere on your floor marching along, telling people to stay in their rooms.
We're just barely gonna open the door enough for the cat to go out, and then close it, and then turn off the lights.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Alright, so I roll a d20 this time and then add a 4. So 16 plus 4 is a 20.
Okay. As you begin moving down the hallway towards the staircase to get to the 2nd floor, you see rounding the corner in front of you, and probably moving faster to cut you off than you can move towards the stairs, a group of 3 guards coming down the hallway. And it seems like one on the side kind of notices this cat running across the hallway, and it looks like you 2 will probably cut you off just slightly based on speeds.
I was slinking down the stairs to be quiet, but I'm gonna really try hard to mimic cat movement, so that way they think I'm just an ordinary cat.
As the guards begin to cross your path in front of you, the one on the left side of the guards moving down kind of gives notice to you and says, "Get out of here, feline," and makes a kick towards you.
I'm gonna quickly skitter away.
Okay, he does get a kick in before, which is going to be a 14 to hit you.
If he's just using it
Well,
to gently try
by-
to kick me out of the way, that's mean.
He is just full on kicking you, though
Damn,
it is
what an
only
asshole.
it is only 1 damage against you. You feel the hit just hit your abdomen and it hurts. And continues on walking.
Oh yeah, can I make sure to perceive who that fucker was?
You can.
Who kicked me?
I will allow you to remember who kicked you. As you continue on your way and make your way towards Jin's room. Jin and Orsik, what have you two been up to?
Yes, I'm gonna go through the rafters, over where the room is, or over the door that leads into the room.
You have made your way at this point back into the room safely.
I'm going to fall down onto what I presume is my bed, and I'm going to bounce safely, and I'm going to look to see if Jin is around here.
Jin is in the room, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, Orsk see Jin, he's like, well, that was quite the adventure.
Just starts taking out his traveler's cloak from his backpack. His hair is tied back. He's gonna take it off so it's free, and then he's gonna put the traveler's cloak over his clothes.
Okay.
That is a good idea. Orsk is going to change it to traveler's clothes. His attire is changed from less dark and gloomy looking to more brightly colored, right? And he stuffs the clothing that he took off into his backpack somewhere. Alright, so, what is the game plan?
Situations like this, you're gonna have to wait till it stops getting hot. There's too much activity going on.
I assume there's some complimentary wine around here somewhere.
There's a little bit, not much.
I pass Jim one of the bottles.
He thinks for a bit. Sure, it's been a hell of a day. Also, the alchemy kit is probably still laid out on the table. I'm about to start dismantling it and putting it away.
After a little bit, Mercedes shown at the door to their room.
Yeah, I would have been cat scritching.
I need both Jin and Orsik to make perception checks for me.
I'll even do that cat thing where the paws are coming into the bottom.
You both do notice very light kind of sound, and you see these two little paws kind of under the door just start tapping the ground.
Oh, it's a cat.
Now, do I remember Mercedes turning into a cat?
As he's trying to remember, Orsk is going to like slightly open up the door just enough for the cat to come in.
I'm gonna quickly come in.
I will say, Jin, yes, you do remember with your passive perception, you kind of caught a glance of this cat form jumping onto Kai's shoulder and wrapping around whilst all hell was breaking loose in the hallway. You do both notice a string tied around its neck with a note on the back of this cat, just a folded piece of paper.
Orsk is gonna take it off and unfold it.
As you unfold it, the Enigma Code is on the inside, is what they had described earlier, which I actually forgot because it was so complex.
It's just the numbers of our room written out in Draconic, Dwarvish, Goblin, and also 2 tick marks that Kai put on there. That one I'm not really sure why, but, you know, it's like a completely different pen off to the side.
I don't have to roll to decipher it, right? Especially if one of the things is a language I understand.
No, especially if it's a language you understand. You see their room number in 2 tick marks. It's up to you if you know what these tick marks mean.
He's not sure what the tick marks mean, but the number, from what he remembers, I guess, is from where the girls are staying at. So
yes, you know that's their room number.
All right, he's gonna turn to Jin and he's like, "Well, I don't know where they found this cat at, but I guess they, I guess they need us in their room." I passed Jin the note, right?
It's not wise. We're creating a snowball effect here. We have to wait it out.
I'm a little tired. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the wild shape. Like, oh fuck.
Orsk, you were like petting this cat a second ago, and all of a sudden, in an instant, this cat, like with this kind of pinkish spore-like energy, just turns into Mercedes.
Oh, Mercedes!
Yeah, so it's not safe for us to move around. There's a bunch of guards, and some asshole tried to kick me. It was so mean.
I'm sorry I violated your head.
No,
I didn't know.
It's fine. I understand. I mean, it did feel nice, but you know.
Yeah, it can get worse.
Jin's right. We can't leave. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to let Ty and Juliet know that I'm okay.
Did you send a note down to Siegfried?
Oh shit! I don't even know if he's back in his room. We're all under the impression that he's still in the woods. We don't know anything. I was hoping I could get a little more investigation going on, but there's cards everywhere. And like I said, I don't want them to kick me again. It still hurts my ribs.
Is there a window in this room?
Yes, on the second floor with that 2-bedroom, you guys would be facing out front the way in that kind of has a good glimpse of a majority of this compound out front.
Is there anything visual out the window?
Perception check. You see about probably 40 plus guards walking around. You have heard, since you've been back in your room, the shouts, the drums, the horns, many different signals going about.
I told the party. Seems like they dispatched the guards around the area.
Whoever that dwarven lady and that old man was must have been really important for them to have all this fanfare like this.
Kai and Juliet, back up to you, as it's been about 10-15 minutes since Mercedes sauntered off as a cat. You hear the occasional as guards walk down the hallway.
I just realized something even more stupid that I could have done. I could have manifested wild-shaped companion and sent the companion so I could have stuck with you guys and we could have played telephone through the fucking familiar. Damn it! If we end up staying here for an hour, I can get my wild shape back and send the fucking companion.
So what I'm hearing is you're gonna leave Kai and Juliet with no knowledge of if you're okay for an hour, and you expect us to just stay put and not do something stupider.
Oh, this is a train wreck.
Compared to each other, where are our rooms? Like, are we like one floor above them?
You are up a floor, but you're not directly above. You're probably
Do the rooms have balconies?
No.
Damn it. I'm getting anxious. Okay, hear me out. Are they like frequently stopping outside of a room? Are they just going up and down the hall?
Can we also hear any like talking? Like,
make a perception check for the talking, Kai. I'll say the footsteps, both of you can know they're not stopping. They just seem to be patrolling. With a 15 to kind of listen in, and you put your ear up to the door for a little bit, you don't hear any talking. You heard them ordering people to stay in their rooms, though at this point that has died down. In the last, I'll say, about 10 minutes, you have not heard any talking other than that.
Okay, I have a terrible plan.
Oh, fuck.
Oh boy.
Do they have anything in the forest that you would call a Karen?
is there a forest Karen?
Are there forest Karens?
Oh shit, is Juliet about to straight up flex her privilege?
Roll a history check, Kai.
Like, I'm gonna fucking speak to your manager. Oh,
I live in an apartment. I can't do they have forest Karens?
I'm not smart.
11?
Poor Kai.
I wasn't ready for this. There's people named Karen. You've never heard it used in this context, though.
I don't know, like forest Karens, but I've seen like people Karens.
Okay, good. So I have in my possession a set of fine clothing.
Are we about to get a story reveal? Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
Absolutely in no manner is that going to happen. But I would like to switch from my paladin getup into my I'd like to speak to the manager getup.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna be like, so you stay here.
Wait, are you leaving?
I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. You open the door. You look left and right. You don't see any guards right now in your hallway, but you hear them in one of the other hallways walking down.
I would like to leave my room.
Okay, Kai, are you going with?
I'm gonna quickly grab a blanket, cover my like young body, slouch really, really, really low, and start waddling behind her.
Oh, this is good.
Make a performance check for me, Kai.
Holy
This
shit.
is fucking amazing. Guidance!
Oh no!
Guidance!
You hear some rustling behind you as you see Kai throwing a blanket around, and very not well, just hunched over and just walk up to you with this kind of grin on her old face, just like ready to go.
That is exactly what I would picture a mischievous grandma to look like. I see nothing wrong with this plan.
Where do you two go?
I would like to go down to the end of the hallway where I hear footsteps.
Okay. You go down into one of the main hallways. You see a group of 3 guards coming around the corner, and they kind of give notice to you.
I would like to size them up and figure out which one looks the most important of the group.
Make a perception check for me.
Fucking Juliet for the fucking win.
This is top.
Okay.
A 9.
Top here.
I will just roll my passive, please.
Leading this group of 3, regular build, almost 6 foot tall, male half-orc in full plate armor. Sword is sheathed, but shield out, and he has, to you, like cute face. Very lovable face. He is. He is quite handsome, with this very long braided brown hair and a long matching braided brown beard, and tattoos kind of up his right arm that currently doesn't have anything in it, as he kind of looks you two up and down. Halt! What is your business?
Excuse me? What is your business?
Oh, get it. Get it,
Don't
Juliet.
understand. We stopped in this well-known establishment, prized for its excellent service, and here we are being ordered in our rooms with no news of what's going on. Can you please tell me what's happening at the very least? Why you're insisting we stay in our rooms?
Roll a charisma check for me.
I would love to roll a charisma check for you.
I actually feel like that shit should be intimidation, straight up.
A little bit.
Because she said Karen energy, so I feel like that should be
Sure.
intimidation. outright.
Sure. I will allow it.
Yes.
He's not been talked to in this manner before, especially as a guardsman of the way in. And he kind of like physically is taken aback and looks you up and down and is like, "We're investigating a matter. We're not at liberty to discuss what's going on. Please go back to your room."
I'm sorry, is there someone in charge I can speak to? Because obviously you don't know what's going on. Are you not
In charge of this floor, ma'am, is me. And you can tell he hesitates.
What's your name, sir? Sir, can I have your name, please?
Soldier Brom Keenseeker, ma'am. My boss is Rusoth herself. Please go back to your room at this time. We're investigating a matter that happened downstairs.
What kind of matter?
Roll another either persuasion or intimidation. Your pick. Straightened his back and like has moved his shield slightly more in front of him and is trying to guard himself from you because he doesn't know what to think. Someone's been murdered, ma'am. I need you to go back in your room.
Mercedes!
Murdered? They're intentionally like stage whisper drop my voice? Because obviously I don't want to alert the other guests. There's been a murder here? And you're not telling people?
Oh no.
Do you have a suspect? What do they look like?
I don't know what's happening.
Man, Juliet is acting her ass off, and I am here for it.
Ma'am, you are safer in your room where we have multiple patrols per level happening, and we will find those responsible who have been cited and descriptions have been given to the guards.
Oh, fuck me.
And he begins to like take a half step forward, still with his shield up.
Those involved. A plural? There is more than one murderer in this inn?
Juliet flex that signet ring I know you have.
Will she?
Can we at least know how many?
Make a general charisma check this time.
I'm crying.
As you're talking, you're focusing really hard on like trying to be this old lady, even though your physical form really hasn't changed. and the kind of left side of your blanket just kind of falls off and exposes your regular clothing as you like scramble to pull it back and hold it back up, looks at you and just gives a slight motion for the guards, the two on each of his sides, to move up. We're going to have to ask you one last time. Please go back to your rooms right now.
And just for the record, your name is Brahm Kingseeker, and your supervisor is Ruthsoth?
Ruthsorth, I believe
Ruthsorth.
you guys got here just earlier today, right? I remember seeing you come in.
So I just want to make sure I know who to file a complaint with about how you aren't cooperating.
You can file a complaint. Just please go back to your rooms right now. As they begin, like, putting their hands on their weapons behind them.
I'm pretty sure I could take them, but I will acquiesce to my dear nurse's request and return to our rooms.
And as you return to your room, and this time you do hear them stop and kind of, like, make sure the door's closed as they continue down your hallway.
How long has it been?
About 20, maybe 25 minutes since the incident happened.
We learned that they think that somebody died and that they're still looking for murderers, so they haven't found Mercedes. Because I'm pretty sure Mercedes just killed you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You killed him and threw me under the bus.
And we know that they're finding descriptions. Where's Mercedes?
I mean, she's probably okay. She's probably just waiting in Jin and Orsik's room, right? Like, maybe they're not okay. Maybe they got caught.
At least Orsik, I think. He just disappeared.
You think Orsik is the one? I would put money that they caught Jen before they caught Orsik.
Damn.
Wow.
Having a Paladin up.
With my backstory, what happened and what it was told to me, can I, like, go to the bed and kind of, like, focus on, like, that feeling and maybe call?
Okay. Charisma check for me.
Okay. Juliet, I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go to the bed. Haha.
You begin thinking. Do what you've been told to kind of call on these feelings. And for almost a moment, you feel something reach out and touch you, but it's gone in an instant. Would you like me to do this in the open or take you down to whispers? This is up to you.
Let's do it open.
Oh,
Okay.
snap!
At the end of you trying, you hear this familiar voice in your head reach out to you and say, "You can do this alone, my child. I believe in you." And the presence is gone.
I'll just nod my head. But cuss at the same time. Shit. You have no clue what Kai did, by the way, Juliet. You kind of just saw her out of nowhere walk to the bed and kind of, like, silently close her eyes.
With Mercedes, Jin, and Orsik in their room discussing what to do next, Kai and Juliet upstairs in their room trying to figure out what's going on. Siegfried, within your cell, balled up and curled up as you are, you begin to see a kind of middle-aged to older female half-orc approach your cell with a short black mohawk down her head and shaved head otherwise on the sides, kind of bulging blue eyes, quite tall and a muscular build, with a pendant hanging down her neck. As she begins to unlock the cell. We're going to end there for tonight. Kabox, I schedule a time between today and next session to have a one-on-one about what's going on right now.
Oh dear.
Damn.